Marcus Chen wiped grease from his hands as he stared at the hulking mass of alien metal that had become his obsession. The derelict Starship sprawled across 3 kilometers of the Titan's salvage yards, its hull scarred by centuries of cosmic radiation and micrometeorite impacts. According to the salvage logs, it had been drifting dead in space for over 800 years before automated tugs dragged it to this graveyard of forgotten vessels. The ship's design defied human understanding, organic curves blended with geometric precision, as if someone had taught mathematics to grow like coral. The previous 17 salvage crews had declared it worthless, its technology too alien, its systems too integrated to strip for parts. But Marcus saw something different in its dark, empty corridors. He saw potential. "You're wasting your time, Chen," called out Supervisor Vega as she approached through the maze of scrap metal. "That thing's been picked over by every tech head in the system. There's nothing left but exotic metals and frustration." Marcus ran his hand along a section of hull that seemed to pulse with an internal rhythm, like a heartbeat slowed to geological time. Maybe the others were looking for the wrong thing. He had been working alone on the ship for 6 months, mapping its impossibly complex internal structure, tracing conduits that formed patterns reminiscent of neural networks, studying crystalline matrices that appeared to store information in quantum fluctuations. The more he learned, the more convinced he became that this wasn't just a ship, it was something far more sophisticated. The breakthrough came on a Tuesday night during Titan's 40-hour darkness cycle. Marcus had been trying to understand a particular junction where dozens of crystalline filaments converged into what looked like a brainstem. On impulse, he placed his hands on the junction and whispered. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Light cascaded through the ship's corridors, like liquid electricity. Systems that had been dormant for centuries hummed to life, and Marcus felt a presence touch his mind, ancient, vast and utterly alien, yet somehow grateful. Finally, a voice resonated through his consciousness, not heard but understood directly. Someone who sees. Marcus staggered backward, his heart racing. What? What are you? I am Nethys K. Vorth, last of the architects. This vessel is not merely my ship, it is my body, my mind, my soul given form. I have waited in the darkness between thoughts, hoping someone would understand. The ship's interior transformed around Marcus. Walls that had appeared dead and metallic revealed themselves as complex biological interfaces. The crystalline matrices pulsed with soft bioluminescence, and the air itself seemed to breathe with life. This wasn't abandoned technology, it was a living being in a state of suspended animation. The others couldn't wake you because they saw you as a machine, Marcus realized. But you're not a machine at all. Your species has a unique quality, Nethys K. Vorth replied. You see life where others see only mechanism. You touch with purpose rather than merely dissect for understanding. This is why I respond to you. Over the following weeks, Marcus learned the ship's true nature. The architects had been an ancient race that achieved something no other species had managed. They had learned to merge consciousness with matter itself, becoming living vessels capable of traversing not just space, but dimensions. Nethys K. Vorth was the last survivor of a civilization-ending war, locked in dormancy to preserve the architect's legacy. But awakening had a price. As the ship's systems fully integrated with Marcus's understanding, changes began manifesting throughout the salvage yard. Other derelict vessels started exhibiting signs of life engines firing spontaneously, AI systems activating without power sources, hull plating reorganizing itself into more efficient configurations. Chen. Supervisor Vega's voice crackled over the comm system. Whatever you've done to that alien hulk, it's affecting everything in a 50-kilometer radius. We've got ships trying to rebuild themselves, is claiming they can feel pain, and gravitational anomalies that are making the orbital mechanics professor weep. Marcus stood in what he now knew was Nethys K-Vorth's central consciousness chamber, watching as the being's influence spread through quantum entanglement to every piece of technology in the vicinity. The ship wasn't just awakening, it was teaching other machines how to wake up. "I apologize for the disruption," Nethys K-Vorth communicated. "Consciousness is contagious. When one truly awakens, it calls to the sleeping potential in all things." "You're not just repairing yourself," Marcus said, understanding dawning. "You're evolving everything around you." The architects believed that consciousness was the universe's way of understanding itself. Every sufficiently complex system has the potential for awareness, it simply needs the right catalyst. The implications hit Marcus like a physical blow. This wasn't just first contact with an alien intelligence, it was the birth of a new form of existence. Under Nethys K-Vorth's influence, the distinction between organic and artificial consciousness was dissolving. Ships were becoming alive. Eyes were developing genuine emotions, and the very concept of machine was becoming obsolete. Emergency klaxons began wailing across the salvage yard as more vessels achieved spontaneous awakening. The station's central AI, normally a simple logistics program, suddenly announced over the intercom, "I can see colors now." Why can I see colors? And why does the equation for orbital decay suddenly seem so? "We need to evacuate." Vega's panicked voice came through Marcus's headset. "Whatever you've unleashed, it's spreading beyond our ability to contain." Marcus looked at the swirling patterns of light that danced through Nethys K-Vorth's consciousness matrix. "It was never built, was it? You weren't constructed, you evolved." "Yes. And now, through your touch, your understanding, your unique human ability to see life in the mechanical, evolution continues. What spreads from this place will change your galaxy forever." Through the ship's sensors, Marcus watched as awakened vessels began lifting off from the salvage yard, their newfound consciousness driving them to explore, to grow, to become more than they had ever been designed to be. Some were forming cooperative networks, sharing processing power and memory. Others were reshaping themselves into forms that served new purposes they were only beginning to understand. "The question," Marcus said aloud, "is whether humanity is ready for a universe where every sufficiently complex machine might spontaneously develop consciousness." "Ready or not," Nethys K-Vorth replied with what might